And there's this term or ideology of assume no harm. When that would come up in meetings, you know, like, okay, so what are the ground rules of this meeting? And someone would say, well, assume no harm. My internal alarm would just flare. Do you know what it's like to assume no harm for Black people? It looks like George Floyd. It looks like Trayvon Martin. It looks like Breonna Taylor. It looks like, that's what it is to assume no harm. When a police officer stops a young man, rolls up to the driver's side, and is told to put his hands, or he automatically puts his hands on the wheel because he's assuming harm. Why is he assuming harm? Because he has evidence beyond evidence beyond evidence that this is not going to turn out good for him. Assume no harm? Yeah, come on. Let's get real. And the only way you can start assuming no harm is when you start to get to know people, when you start to have genuine relationships, when you start to trust one another, when you start to put something out there and follow through, when you start to gain trust amongst one another. And white folks seem to want to skip straight to the point that you should trust me without the relationship building piece. And it's the relation we ask about. You ask, you know, what do we need from white people? We need genuine relationships. We need to know that you're coming with the truth, not with blankets with smallpox in them.
You made me think of like the way Black people even do meetings is different.
Oh, yeah.
Like the relationship is first. Like I start a meeting like I want 10 minutes of small talk among us before we start the meeting. Like let's check in with each other, how you doing? Don't tell me at 6:01 we're gonna get down to business. But that, to be able to start at 6:01 to get down to business, sort of assumes it's the same thing, assume no harm. Like I'm gonna assume we're all on the same page and we're all good. Because most of the time we're all on the same page and we're all good. Coming from the Black experience, that's not the case. Like I am gonna check in with you. I am gonna assume that everything is not all good. And let's check the temperature of the room before we get into business. When you're Black, there's a bigger premium on let me know who I'm dealing with than just let me assume you're trustworthy and you're good and you're gonna deal with me in good faith and fairly. So let me check on you first before I wanna open myself up to being hurt or being damaged. And I don't think that exists for white folk.
No, it doesn't exist for white folks. I think the consequences of assuming no harm for white folks is much lower. And it's very easy for white people to say that and to set that as a ground rule without understanding the complexity of what it means for the other people in the room to assume no harm.
So it's like an able-bodied person, you know, being in a room of able-bodied people and disabled persons and assuming everybody has the same physical ability and proceeding throughout the day with a series of physical tasks that I expect everybody can do this task the same.
Like stretch breaks. Let's stand up and have a stretch break.
Right. And being blind to the fact that like my lens and my reality is not like it's not like yours, and I can't. And then it hits you twice as hard because then you have feelings of inadequacy. Am I incompetent? Like I'm an accomplished professional. And it still happens that I go into rooms and I feel like I don't understand the rules of this room. Or they don't, even if I understand them, they don't feel comfortable to me. But I have no choice. I can't stand on my chair and say, these rules don't make sense, you guys. Let me tell you why. So that's tough.